In this video, I'm going to address a couple things out of John 8, one adultery, one fornication. I pulled up John chapter 8 to address the woman taken in adultery by the Pharisees. Adultery is used in two different ways. First, I'll clarify that asking Christ based on the law of Moses that commanded us to stone her, what would you have us do with her? And he essentially said, he who is without sin cast first stone. And the Pharisees and scribes all walked away, and Christ clarified to her that he doesn't condemn her either. And the gist of it is the instruction of go and sin no more. It becomes fundamental to understand what the adultery was. So as I come over here to this being Pornia, Bible Hub, it's the first of the two adulteries is defined right here as this word, which is defined as marital unfaithfulness. To be really clear about marital unfaithfulness is not the same as sexual unfaithfulness or sexual infidelity. Marital unfaithfulness is to take marriage apart. And as you can see, John 8:3, it being bundled together under the same word as the study of Matthew 15:19, which generally said, you don't even know what the commandment means. You can seek to worship me and not even know me, etc., etc. Likened unto what was she guilty of? Marital unfaithfulness, because that's what the definition is, here at least. And the other adultery addressed is over here, and this is still the same study as my last video on adultery, and it being John 8:4 right here, and thus you could almost just say synonymous with the Matthew 5:32 woman, where the husband divorced her and she suffered by adultery and became tempted and adulterated the marriage for her own self by remarriage, by way of debauched, by polluted original marriage into remarriage. One of the verses on fornication is right here. It's still John 8. It's essentially the descendants of Abraham seeking to kill Christ, actually stone him. Part of the conversation became that they were explaining to Christ that we are not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God. And Christ's generalized response to that was, ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He is a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Those are some seriously strong condemning words. I'd like to show you the subject of stoning. They follow the same quote over on Leviticus 20:10, which is essentially an instruction that Moses received from God. The adulterer and the adulteress is guilty of committing adultery here shall surely be put to death. So when Christ calls the descendants of Abraham murderers, that's what he's referring to. And essentially, Christ goes on to clarify that while you think that you were receiving from God, you weren't. Moses didn't. Abraham didn't. And they're just the father of lies. I would dare clarify that the prophets of the Old Testament definitions of adultery and fornication are not lies. The killing is a lie, but not the prophets' definitions. I would also add that his own right here is an interesting study. John 8:44 is right here. So when he speaks of his own, it's those things in which one differs from others. The nature and his nature and personal character. I dare extend that over to the nature of man, which is natural man, which is sinful nature of man, which is the flesh, which is you're doing self-willed self. It differs from others because it's yourself. So, self-willed self, flesh, natural man, the nature of your character. And that's what you were doing when you thought you were receiving from God. You were really doing that instead.